G'day there guys, welcome back to my shed on BC. We've got a bit of boiler work going on today. Steve's over here using my radial arm drill to punch some holes through boiler plate, and although the radial arm drill is very maligned now and disliked, it still does the hard work when we don't have a vertical machining centre. So I'll stop gas bagging and bring in on Steve and the next hole's going through.
Thanks, Benny.
Okay guys, here's the machine in operation. I don't normally let anybody and everybody use my machines, but Steve's a fairly competent and safe operator here. And the machine is a sticky old bugger. Yeah, trying to get the feeder lock in. When doing things like these tube plates, it's just such a big comfortable machine to use. When it starts to make some noise. Oh, she's tripping out.
Might be actually one position on there that's a good one.
You might have a bit of shit in one of the feed dogs. Oh, tripped out again. That's it. It's got itself into gear now. Could just be running around on top of one of the chips. Now we'll have another go. I think after smoke over, we'll put the paper shank drill through Mr. Radial, the drill grinder, just to make sure. Oh, it's showing up through off the swarf now. The drill's made by Giovanni Braga of Italy, and it is one hell of a machine compared to using a turret mill. Bring it back after we've had a feed. Okay guys, it looks like the drill was a little bit on the sad side, so I've mounted it up in Mr. Radial, and we'll give it a grind. It's so hard when you get the right gear. Alright, let's see if that runs any better.
Blamed as one particular thing.
Well, was it us or was it the drill? We're getting decent swarf off it now, but I also found that the drill depth stop was floating and it hadn't been tightened up. But either way, it's going through very, very good. We'll bring it back with another hole soon. Later that day, with a bit more experience, we're getting better at it. Seriously, the factory grind on the drill wasn't real terrific. It's performing a lot better since we put it through the Radial. You can tell the noise level's down substantially. And that's putting holes in boiler tube plate. Hello there fellas, just bring you back in again part way through the job. We've got Steve's boiler shell up on the horizontal borer to increase the size of the hole for the turret. His biggest hole saw wasn't good enough, and these are some hold down bolts that came with my large dividing head out of China. The material's as tough as tiger shit, and worse luck, they're 2 millimetres too wide to fit in the T-slots. But we're going to use theirs to block the outside of the shell and then put mighty bite clamps on the inside. We'll show you that later on. But just thought I'd show you what a cheaper carbide end mill from yesteryear can do to that'd be at least grade 5. They're making a bit of smoke. We'll turn it on, make a bit of noise. Okay, we've come up by 1/2 millimetre. We're taking very light cuts because it's only clamping by the edge of the flange of the bolt head. And I would say that lining up the flats by eye, I've only been about 2/10 of a mil out, if that. Not that I'm very good, it's just that it's not too bloody hard. Nice and easy, not so squeezy. Gotta say, the carbide tools make this sort of job dead easy. Sometimes I wish I had a great big grunter of a mill, but then I realise I'd never use it. Okay, bring it back and we're boring boilerplate. Back again on the borer. I'm now centering the head to the axis of the machine. So that's this snap bar holder is getting centered here, and it doesn't dial up really good if you haven't tightened up the mount bolts, at least nip them up a little bit. But without getting too tight, we're up to 2 thou, which is good enough for a fabrication job. Now, it's going to be offset later on, but we have to centre the head this time first to get it on centre line with the hole to be bored and at the correct height. And once that's been set, then we can offset the facing head to get the correct diameter that we want. Okay, I'll swing you around a little bit. There's one of the clamps up against the side of the boiler shell, tightened up I hope, and on the inside we've got some mighty bite clamps, and I'll bring you around when we're about to place those in. But I think this should be rigid enough. We're only going to be taking about 15 thou per cut, so lucky we're tight, and it doesn't matter if it takes a bit of time. Bring you back then. Okay, you guys will laugh already. I put the clamping blocks at the back of the shell before I put the T-nuts in for the mighty bite clamp, so they'll come out again. But you'll see here one reason why I like this old HBM. It's just so easy to clamp big things. I've had boilers up on there, and the work envelope, although the table's 18-inch square and you can do a 12-inch cube on top of that, you can sight the work virtually anywhere. It comes out quite well. Okay, we'll run the centre up. As my old man would say, that's as near as damn to swearing as you're going to get. Cool. Yeah, that looks spot on to me. So now I'll just measure the distance from the top of the shell down halfway with a ruler, put the centre point into the ruler, and then we're central to where the hole should be, and then we can dial in our offset to get a round hole on the correct coordinates. Well guys, Mr. Grunter has arrived with 2 more grinders for me. I know I don't need 2 more grinders, but 2 have already gone out to make up for it. We'll see what they're like when they hit the floor. This is the big J&S 1302. It's only fat where it's not skinny. Bloody monster of a machine. We'll try and slide it into place after lunch, but right now we both need a good feed. This is a look up the back of the borer, taking a light cut out of the crown sheet of Steve's boiler. So not crown sheet, the boiler shell. That's where our current's going to be woven in. The hole saw is a bit off centre, so we're drawing it up. just taking light cuts. We had a bit of clamping issues. My little mighty bites don't seem to want to bite in the one thereof. So rather than fart at that, we just hit it with a big can't twist it clamp. I'm quite surprised the high-speed steel tool bit is doing so good, as it's really only a high-speed steel doing about 2.5 times the speed it should be. But it's good sandvik high speed. Their products have been out worldwide. I'll zoom you in a little bit closer. And that's the borer making a hole a little bit bigger. So he's just cranking out a bit more on the handle now to move the slide out. You should just take a little bit per cut, the mistake you make it a bit smaller. Yes, the machine sounds much better with the bearings and the new gear in there. I'll see if I can get a bit of light on the subject on the other side. And this is the same job from the action side. It's quite a nice machine tool to use, but you just have to get used to it and work within its parameters. Don't try and be a smart ass. Or from experience, it'll pick the material up and throw it off the table. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's something else to look at. The shot here for interest sake, once these tube plates all drilled except for the outer holes that'll be right next to the weld zone and could screw them in a bit. And sitting up on top of the right hand plate is a bit of wedge wire screening that will be used as a pickup filter for his water tank. All progressing quite well thanks to heavy old cast iron machines. G'day you guys, back again. This is the second day of moving the dinosaurs into the shed. It's been a bit of an exercise. I have got sore muscles in every part of me. I'm not used to moving almost 2-ton behemoths around, but I'll bring you in for a bit of a look around shortly. You can see where we're up to. I've made a few alterations to the shed and found a lot of space I didn't know I had. So in other words, I was wasting quite a bit of what I do have. So come out to you, show you around a little bit on the machines. This one's a little bit taller than it should be. It's got the load skates under it and they're about 70 mils high. So I'll come out there and give you a good look. I hope it comes out alright on the video. Looks alright on the viewfinder. There's the load skates. They're from Garrick Herbert. Quite cheap, about $135, $140 each for 10 tonners. My only concern is they're open at the top, and I'll show you that later on. But I've got a lot to figure out on how to run that machine. And sitting over there is the Haro TNC grinder. I'll go in there now and show you where to live. Okay, back again. Believe it or not, down the back behind the shaper, I've got about 2.2 metres I can fit a machine in back to the crane. I was originally going to put the J&S cylinder grinder down there, but having to leave 700 mils either side of the table for the table operation, just it wasn't going to be too feasible to do it. Right here is Mr. Haro. So he'll live down the back, and I think I'll put it in at 45 degrees and I'll put the little flick grinder just past that. I don't know whether they'll be compatible, but we'll soon find out. Okay, so that's all there is for me today. I'll spend 2 days or so